Welcome to the Geek Easy. Sit back, grab a libation of your choice, and relax, 'cause it's time to do some geek stuff in the Geek Easy. Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks, where tonight I'm going to be reviewing a movie that I just came back from. What movie would this be? It's a movie that is over 40 years old, which I saw in the theater back when I was younger. It would be Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. It's the 40th anniversary release. And it also said, we have Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. But it did say it was the director's cut. So I'm thinking it would be this, the Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan director's cut, which came out in, I think it was 2002. Because I remember I was living in LA when that movie came out, so I took a bus all the way down to Hollywood and watched the movie. I think Shatner, Takei, and it was Walter Koenig, Takei, and Harve Bennett were there to do it, to talk about the movie. And I wanted to try and get Takei's autograph. I knew he wouldn't be going out front, so I went out the back to hang out back there, and I had a Star Trek II magazine, which with his picture on it, and I got him to sign it. And now I'm not sure if I want to be, knowing what I know now, that I want to say that, hey, I met George Takei in a back alley out behind a movie theater. Sounds a little weird. Little attempted humor. Okay, but this was neither one of those. It wasn't the original. It wasn't the director's cut. It is a director's cut, though. This one actually had more scenes in it. They had a couple more scenes in engineering. This one had a scene in engineering where you find out the kid that Scotty was all upset about was his nephew. All right. There was that scene in engineering. There was a couple more scenes after that, just a little, minute or two more where the kid interacts with Kirk. There was just a couple scenes extra here and there that clarified things just a tiny bit more. They didn't need to be in the movie because things made enough sense as it was, but they were in there. Like when they're near the end, when Khan is chasing the Enterprise into the Matara Nebula. Excuse me. There's a scene in this one where Saavik asks, "What makes you think? What will ensure Khan will follow us in there?" And Kirk looks at him and says, "You don't underestimate the human ego," which it was, didn't need to be in the movie. Didn't need to be in the movie. This was added clarification that shows you how well Kirk knew Khan and all that. Just little bonus things, which made the movie just all that much better. So I just think this is great. But there are a couple things in there that just still irk me to no end. And it's tiny stuff in my head, okay? So you see, and it's the first time Khan attacks, right? The Enterprise is just done. A couple more shots, and they're blown up. And I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the code, but they get into the console, pull up the code for the Reliant, and order the Reliant's computer to drop their shields. That's awesome. That's great. But then you never, ever, ever see that used again in any of the series afterwards, any of the movies afterwards. You know, like when they're either up against other, starships. Like there's a couple of DS9 episodes where Starfleet ships are after the Reliant for, because they think there's chain things on it and all that stuff. They could have used it then, but they just drop it. And so this movie sets it up, and then they just never use it again. And in the entire nebula again, they're and Spock says, he's doing, speaking of Khan, he's doing great, but he's inexperienced. He's only doing 2D thinking. So that's when Kirk drops down, comes up behind him, boom. They never follow up on that again in the movies, on all other shows. You always see them you never see a ship come down, or you never see them come across a ship and they're like this, because in space it doesn't matter. I mean, you could be going like this, and another ship could be coming like this, and it'll just be normal. And you could come up in battle and do it that way. But like I said, minor, trivial. The good thing was I got to see it on the big screen again. Got to see the extra scenes in there. And it was so much better than seeing it. I have a big screen right here, but it is nowhere near as big as the movie screen with the sound system in the theater. So I'm going to give this... before I give it a rating, I just want to throw this out here and do my top 3 Star Trek movies and see if you agree. Mention in the comments below whether you agree or not, or let me know what you think yours are. Top 3 Star Trek movies. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Any edition. Original Director's Cut or this Director's Cut. Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. Which, The Undiscovered Country was bantied around for the title of Star Trek II. And then the third best Star Trek movie, Galaxy Quest. I'll fight you on that one. I'm going to die on that hill. Anyway, this is a 4.0 out of 5. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the movie. Let me know what you think the top 3 Star Trek movies are. And like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your Star Trek.